And welcome to the February 14th, 2014 edition of Truth Radio with Dan Bidondi. We got a special guest from Infowars.com coming on in the second half of the show, Gigi Erneta. She's Infowars.com reporter and also one of the hosts of the Infowars Nightly News. We're going to talk about drones, and we got a lot of news on drones. We got a lot of news, period. I don't even know where to start today, to tell you the truth. And folks, today's Valentine's Day, known as Lupercalia, which is actually a pagan day. It's nothing to do with God or sainthood at all. The Pope actually at the time disguised as Saint Valentine's Day to cover up the pagan origin of this holiday. And I'm not spending too much time on that because we cover everything from the occult to news and everything else. And we're going to zip through a lot of the news this first half of the show, these first two segments. And then we're going to have, again, Gigi Erneta, Infowars.com reporter, nightly news host on. And hopefully next week, hasn't been confirmed yet, but Darren McBreen, Infowars nightly news host, he should be joining us next week. But I just want to touch briefly on what Valentine's Day is. This is ridiculous, folks. And again, it's not the Pope at the time, I don't know his name here, but he disguised it as Saint Valentine's Day. It has nothing to do with sainthood at all, to tell you the truth. It's actually a pagan festival. And basically what they do, I'm going to cut it down to the shortest story possible. Again, it's called Lupercalia. What they do is they sacrifice a wolf or any animal that's related to the wolf family. They take the hide off and basically cut it into strips with the fur and skin, and they dip it in the sacrificial blood, how ridiculous it sounds, dip it in the sacrificial blood and run around the town gently whipping single women with it to bless them with fertility and good luck and love and all that. And at the end of the night of the festival, all the men pick a woman's name, a single woman's name, and they mate with them that night, and they're with them for a year. And they can marry him and stuff, and the men dress in all kinds of hides, like in costumes and hides of wolves and so on. It's crazy. Just look up Lupercalia. I mean, the festival is nothing at all to do with sainthood or whatever. It's a pagan festival of fertility. Again, another Greco-Roman pagan crap holiday that's been infested upon us and here in America. Another, the only real holidays, folks, in biblical aspect are the Jewish holidays. That's it. Not Christmas, not Easter, which has zero zilch to do with Jesus Christ at all. Zero. And we're not going to spend too much time on that. We're going to get to holidays because we're going to bring one of probably Doc Marquise back on to explain, or Cisco Wheeler, former Mothers of Darkness, to explain or Bill Schnoblin, to explain what the origins, the true occultic origins of the holidays, how they're disguised, painted with Christianity when they have nothing to do with Christianity at all. And folks, our country's massively deceived. I mean, look at the news, for instance. You got the right-wing and left-wing news. Us independent media gets known as conspiracy theorists, but however, us independent media has more ratings than the corporate mainstream media. But anyway, let's get into some news because, again, I don't even know where to start, to tell you the truth. And we got so much news. You got Michael Bloomberg relentlessly attacking our Second Amendment. I mean, this guy's got to go. He's the owner of Bloomberg News, former mayor of New York City, and this guy is horrible. This guy, you should paint a mustache on him because this guy is the Hitler of modern day era. Him and Barack Obama. And we got Technocracy News, how they want to plant microchips. I mean, they're trying to introduce a new draconian bill that would mandate a kill switch for smartphones and so on, and another internet bill too that they're trying to push through. And we're going to get into that in a minute because we're getting so much news here. The biggest internet attack yet, as cybersecurity bill introduced in the House. And then we're going to touch that as well. And first I want to start off with some health and miscellaneous news here to get this out of the way here. Some headline news. And again, folks, this is news, headline news that is transpired over the week. Since our weekly show, we touch on the headline news that's transpired over the week. I mean, we try to touch on the most news that people need to know, because there's so much news we could be here for hours. And I just want to say, folks, we're trying to push Truth Radio Show, trying to push this network, a conglomerate of independent news media, folks. And it costs a lot of money. And I'm not up here like a false prophet or a pastor or whatever that's begging you for your money. God's got to bless bless you, whatever. No, we're not doing that. Okay. I have a donation page on my page, truthradioshow.com. If you feel generous enough to donate, please do. It's all the funds. There's a statement where the funds go and everything else. It goes into funding this. We're trying to put out a television network along on the air here on 990wbob.com, and we want a 5-day-a-week show. We want a video news broadcast. And folks, it costs a lot of money for the streaming alone. I mean, like for the producer, for everything else here, and folks, there's a lot of money involved. And again, go to my show webpage, truthradioshow.com, click on donate, and it's a PayPal secured account, and your donations go directly to fund the operation here. And again, I'm not begging people for money, and if you feel, out of your heart, and is God leading you to do so, please do so, because we need, it's just money for ink to print these articles up, and it runs up high, the bills and everything, paper and everything else, and it's so much work involved, so much editing, producing, it's crazy. And we're trying to raise funds here because we want to be a grassroots. We don't want corporate bailouts. We don't want funds from the United States government. We want a grassroots foundation so we can raise it from grassroots like people like yourself, and we could create a giant media conglomerate that the mainstream media cannot touch. And again, truthradioshow.com, and any donation, if you do $5 a month, again, the funds go right to here. And we're going to start, when we start getting the funds in, we want to do at least once a day show, 2 hours a day, if we get the funds and everything. And we're going to have open phone lines. We want to hear from people. People contact me. There's a million ways to contact me on my Facebook, so I try to get back to everybody. I'm getting news tips all the time, and thanks to you people out there who give me the news tips and stuff that's going on. When I look into them, it's like, wow, good stuff. And again, we need your help. We need you to be the eyes and ears, sending us your news tips and everything else. TruthRadioShow.com. All the contact information is on that page, all my social networks and so on. And again, if you feel free to donate, I'm not going to sit up here and bug you all the time with donations. I'm not like that. I feel bad asking, but unfortunately, it costs a lot of money. I have to work a full-time job besides this to put my own money, plus support my family and everything else to keep the show going. And our goal and our dream is to do this full-time, to commit full-time into this war against the New World Order. And the only way to do that is generous people like yourselves who care about liberty, care about freedom, and want to put their money towards something good. Never mind the American Cancer Society, who funds so-called cancer research, when they back companies like Big Pharma and everything to kill you even more. We want to put the money to good use, put the money so people get the real news, unsugar-coated, the real truth. And I don't want to spend too much time on that. I'm not a beggar here, but again, if you feel the need out of the heart, please do so. And God bless you if you can, and because it costs a lot of money, it really does. And I'm in trouble with my fiance half the time because most of my money goes into the show here. It's crazy, but anyway, let's get to the news here. And again, we got a new bill that would require White House dinners to follow the same as school lunch guidelines. Now, we talked about in the past how they're trying to nanny-nize, the nanny state, nanny-nize what the kids eat in school. You can't bring bag lunches from home into school. You have to eat the GMOs, the fluoridated, fortified milk and everything else that they want to give you. God forbid you bring in organic foods from school. In some schools, they're even fining parents for doing so. And this is draconian, nanny-nice stuff that's going on. Now they want to do this for the White House dinners as well. One Illinois Republican lawmaker has asked the White House and the Obamas to stop hypocrites and practice what they preach about nutrition. And it says Tuesday night's gluten fest of the White House state dinner for French President François Hollande, I can't even pronounce his name right, was the perfect example of why U.S. Representative Ronnie Davis has introduced legislation that would require official White House meals to follow the same USDA mandate guidelines for school lunch and breakfast programs. And the bill is called HR 3686, the School Nutrition Fairness Act. So they want to impose this on the White House. So exactly, if you want to use these draconian measures on our children, you know what? Practice what you preach. And I agree with that. If you want to mandate these restrictions on our kids, you know what? You should follow and lead by example. And we got luxury brand CEO to the poor. He says, "Stop whining or move to China." Now, this this guy, ironic perhaps, on the heels of President Obama's minimum wage hike executive order and a discussion of the salaries to the public and private employees in America, we find the following, submitted by Mike Krager of Liberty blog. And basically, this guy here, the luxury brand CEO, is telling people, poor people, to stop whining. And if you don't stop whining, why don't you just move to China? Why this guy rides around in limousines all the time, gets high-class service everywhere he goes. Well, he doesn't know what poverty is because he's sucking off everybody else's money. And you're a scumbag, to tell you the truth. Yeah, you should be smacked across the face with poverty. That's what you should. You should, go to Detroit. Go in the streets for a week to see how these people are living. All over the country, people going homeless, they're going hungry and everything else because of the whole crisis going on here. And we're going to go to a break in a couple of seconds here. And when we get back, we're going to talk about a video, jihadist rebels in Syria strangle women to death. And folks, somebody's got to do something now about the jihadists. And I'm not attacking Muslim groups, but the jihadists, they're bastards. And I'm telling you, scumbags, you come over here and try to do that to one of our women, we'll put a bullet in your head. And I'm not calling for violence, but you want to kill our people, we'll kill you back. Because we're sick of your crap. And this is disgusting. But we'll be right back on Truth Radio with Dan Bidondi. And we're back on the Dan Bidondi Show, folks. I don't mean to sound too extreme what I said before I left for the break here, but folks, these jihadist people, rebels, are out of control. And to mind you, these are the same jihadist scum, okay, pure, unadulterated scum, murdering scum, that the United States CFR, the Council of Foreign Relations of the United States, wants us to ally with. These are the same people who slaughter entire villages, but they want us to ally with these people, and these are the people who actually gassed the Syrian people, not the Syrian government. And that all came out, how the DOD and Department of Defense and Obama administration gave the green light to the Syrian rebels to gas the people so we could blame Assad. But they don't tell the public that. But the public is aware of that. That's why most people oppose going after Syria. But we got a video here from Paul Joseph Watson, Infowars.com. Jihadist rebels in Syria strangle woman to death. They blatantly strangle a woman. She's on her knees. It's a disturbing video. And they strangle her to death. And it irks me. And if you dare to speak out against the jihadists, you are a racist. You're right here in America, you're a racist. You're not allowed to speak out. Shh. Keep your mouth shut about the jihadists. Well, I'm not keeping my mouth shut about them. And I'm telling you right now, we have a right in this land called the United States of America to defend ourselves. And I'm telling you, jihadists out there, come here to America and try that crap here. Come here to America like you did to the graveyards, the Jewish and Christian graveyards in Australia. You come here to America and try that and see what happens to you. We have a right to defend ourselves. It's called the Second Amendment. So you go around cutting people's heads off. You go around strangling people. Guess what? You're going to get an American Smith & Wesson bullet in your heads. How's that? Okay? You could take that to Allah, to your fake moon god, too. Because I'm sick of the crap. I really am. I'm not being politically correct. Politically correct is nothing to me. Okay? Being politically correct is stupid. There's no movement in the truth movement for political correctness. Again, you come here to try to do that jihadist crap here, and Obama's supporting the whole thing. You come here to try to do that, you're going to have another thing coming, because you got millions of Americans here who protect love to protect our own people, love our liberties, love our life and the way of life. And you come here to try to violate that, you're going out in a coffin, in a body bag, I'm telling you right now. And I don't care if you take this as violent, extreme, it's called defending ourselves. You ain't going to pull that jihadist crap in this country, buddies. I'm telling you right now. And it makes me sick. I mean, I don't even want to get to a rant about it, because I got so much news to cover. And we got Gigi coming on in the next segment. And, I'm just like, just watching that video irritated the hell out of me. It really did. And that poor woman, just because she don't want to believe now, she don't want to go conform to their ways. And again, it's not attacking the Muslims. Jihadists are actually an extreme Muslim group like the Muslim Brotherhood. These people kill people because if you don't conform to their ways, they're going to kill you. Well, come try that here. Come try to kill me. I'll take 10 of you guys out at once for myself. Yeah, we don't play around here in America, I tell you right now. And we love our God. We love our freedoms. You come try to touch either one of them, you're going home in a body bag. I guarantee you that. And again, I don't care if you call me extreme or not. You come take our civil liberties. You come attack us. We're fighting back. Because here in America, you put our backs against the wall and watch the Raven Wolves come out. And I'm telling you right now. And we got panicked shoppers fight over amid snowpocalypse. That's Don Salazar and Kit Daniels' article on Infowars. Just want to move through these headlines. And basically, Atlanta residents ransacking the neighborhood grocery stores in frantic preparation of the second major snowstorm. Because down in the south, there's no snowplows, basically. And when a snowstorm comes, it's a big deal. And time has come to ban smoking in cars carrying children, Cameron says. This is from the Daily Mail. Now, this has already took place in Rhode Island as January 1st. In Rhode Island, the state of Rhode Island, you cannot smoke in your car with your kids in the car, which I kind of agree. I mean, like, there's a boundary between civil liberties and safety, okay? And I understand, too. The other thing is them trying to nanny-nize us. That's the other side of the coin. But the thing is, I grew up in, driving the cars when I was a kid, being smoked out. I hated it. That's why I never smoked. I can't stand anything to do with tobacco and cigarettes or any kind of smoking stuff at all. I can't. I hate it. And I know I've got a lot of friends who love marijuana and all that, but I hate that too. And I hate anything to do with smoking. The smell of it, it just makes me putrid and sick to my stomach. And it's just like, I grew up in the car, driving in the car, riding in the car with people smoking in the car. It made me sick. And I kind of agree with it, but the other thing is too, it's like you're nanny-nizing the people, and it goes both ways. I mean, we could argue about this all day long. There's pros and cons about this, but David Cameron in the Daily Mail reports that is back in the ban on smoking in cars carrying children, but will miss today's crunch vote. And basically, the Prime Minister is trying to ban all smoking in cars, which I kind of agree, because kids, they don't need to be smelling your crap. If you smoke, you know what? Take it the hell outside. And, I hate when you come out of a grocery store, you come out of somewhere, and they're standing right at the door. And you got to breathe that I can't say that in here. That crap in, and you got to breathe that crap in, and it stinks, okay? Nobody wants to smell your crap. Take it somewhere else. And it just makes me sick that people can't buy tobacco-less cigarettes. I mean, smokeless cigarettes, because nobody else wants to smell it. And we got to move on here. And I apologize for almost swearing here. It's just like, it really irks me when people do that. And, and we're going to move on to Technocracy News. Why I Want a Microchip Implant by BBC.com reporting. And basically they're reporting a few years ago, perched on the edge of my bed in a tiny flat, breathing in a cloud of acetone fumes, use a scalpel to pick at the corner of an electric travel card. Basically, this guy talked about how his electronic travel card, he found an RFID chip in it. And the article goes on to, this RFID technology and everything else, how it's on the passport, and how they're trying to push this microchip implant into people under the skin, RFID implants and so on. Again, we got to move on. We got to just touch the headlines of these news here. And DARPA continues to push black box brain chip. Article by Steve Joseph Watson. And also you could check Infowars.com for this. And the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, The research arm of the military is continuing to develop implantable brain chips according to documents newly posted as part of the agency's increased transparency policy. Basically, they're trying to put a brain implant chip in your head, like a black box on the airplane, to monitor and record everything you're thinking and doing. So you could just be thinking, out of anger, I'm going to go blow that place. I should go blow that place up, even though you're not going to really do it. Oh, wait a minute. Being Big Brother, Minority Report type style, basically they're going to arrest you for pre-crime, something that you didn't do but you're thinking about. And most of the time, everybody thinks bad things, but the thing is, you're not going to comply with it. 99.9%, you're not going to actually comply with it. And you just think that out of anger or whatever. Everybody gets those thoughts. But they want a black box device into your head. And the process would entail placing wires inside the brain and under the scalp, which electrical impulses fired up through the transmitter placed under the skin in the chest area. And again, it's more on Infowars.com about this, and I got to move on quick because I've got a few minutes. I did want to touch the attack on the Second Amendment by Michael Bloomberg. And we're going to get to we're going to try to touch with the bills here, the new bills about the kill switch for the smartphones and the new draconian internet bill being proposed. We're going to touch on that. Just wanted to bang through some of that headline news. I'm going to see if Gigi would touch on that. We're going to talk about the drones. We're going to see if we're going to touch on the new internet kill switches and everything else. And before I go, I just want to the next segment, I want to touch quickly. We got a couple minutes left. About 2 minutes, so I want to touch briefly about Michael Bloomberg. Today's Adolf Hitler. Bloomberg caught in secret gun confiscation plan. This is on Infowars 2. Researched that, and basically the huge inside info that shows subversive plan behind Bloomberg's nationwide movement to destroy the right of self-defense. Now, he's funded Mayor Angel Tavares here in Rhode Island to become governor of the state to push the draconian gun-grabbing laws, which they're not going to. It's not going to happen, and because we're putting up huge resistance against it. And now Michael Bloomberg, using deception, Bloomberg conspires to completely disarm Americans. Kit Daniels reports of Infowars. Though the coalition designed to deceive the public, former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg is currently pushing for gun confiscations across America, which will cause violent crimes against disarmed Americans to explode. And 50 of Bloomberg's mayors quit after gun confiscation plans were leaked. So Michael Bloomberg's whole gun confiscation plot got leaked out, and these 50 mayors are either scared of their office, losing their office, or they're coming to their senses and say, hey, wait a minute, this guy's a Nazi. So when the plans got leaked out, 50 of Bloomberg's mayors quit the whole operation. And again, Michael Bloomberg, he's trying to take our guns, folks. And all these articles are available on Infowars too. Don Salazar, New York City mayor, warns that group promotes confiscation of guns from law-abiding citizens. And you can see Michael Bloomberg. I mean, this guy is a complete tyrant. If people live in New York, you should confront this guy all the time. Put him on the spot because this guy's a tyrant. And we're going to go to a break, but when we get back, we'll have Gigi Erneta, Infowars.com reporter and nightly news host on the air with us, and we're going to discuss drones and much other things, and we'll be right back. And we're back on Truth Radio Show with Dan Bidondi. Before we move on to our guests, I want to put out the quote of the week, sponsored by We Are Change Blackstone Valley. Quote of the week is by Edmund Burke. The only thing necessary for the evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. That's by Edmund Burke. And verse of the week, what shall we then say to these things? If God is with us, who can be against us? Romans 8:31. And those are inspirational quotes. Basically, if the only thing evil needs to succeed is for us good men to do nothing. And I'm standing up against evil. I'm standing up right in the face of evil saying, we're not going to let you do it. And if God is with us, who could be against us? That alone gives you courage of steel. And people ask where you get your courage from. That right there. If God is with you, who could be against you? And we got our guest on the line, Gigi Erneta, Infowars.com reporter and nightly news host. How you doing, Gigi?
Great, Dan. Wow, I like listening to your show.
Thank you. It's great to have you on.
So, I'd like to. Can I start by just touching on what you just said about?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we got this whole second half of the show. It's all yours.
Okay, well, the thing is I think we should start with that, the fact that our preachers and pastors are stuck under this 501c gridlock with the government. You know, they're coming down on them. And what I don't think people realize is they're not really allowed to say certain things politically because they're bound by the whole idea of the 501c. So I see a future where they'll have to step out of that.
Well, absolutely, yeah. This 501c3. Yeah, you're right. I did a show last year about 501c3. We call it the New World Order churches, and these people have no idea that they're being run by the same people they're supposed to be against, and it's crazy. And they regulate everything. You keep your mouth shut about things, and if we want something done, you tell your congregation to just do it and let God take care of it. In other words, roll up your sleeves, let them inoculate you, be slaves. We'll stomp their faces with our boots if we want. It's God's will and God's doing. You know what I mean? It's total indoctrination of the churches.
Well, I look forward to the day where they won't have to do that anymore, where they could just be who they are and lead the sheep.
Absolutely.
The truth is out there, and the IRS is very busy trying to make sure that not only the churches, but people who speak against the current administration are quieted. So...
Absolutely, and I mean, like you've been in Infowars too, and like all the news we pull up every day and see, it's overwhelming sometimes. But I mean, like that quote says, if God could, if He's with us, who could be against us? So that gives you courage right there. And like all the news we pull up, it's crazy, especially the drones, the technocracy. You got Bloomberg, attacking our Second Amendment, Homeland Security, and the TSA putting new, they want to put new scanners in the airports now, and I mean, it's just so much.
The fact that you can't get out of an airport without going through one of those doors, and if they want to let you out, you can get out, which is a complete fire hazard.
Absolutely. With the power shut down, there was a disaster in the airport, the power went down, and these people in these detainment pods, they're stuck in there. You know what I mean? What's going to happen? Yeah.
Or God forbid, a real terrorist attack.
Yeah, really. And real, that means
you're safer in one of those.
And a real terrorist attack, folks, is non-CIA Al-Qaeda, non-Al-Qaeda.
Yeah. Well, I just remember that LAX, that whole LAX thing, CIA, isn't that what his name was?
Yep.
Chia, which is really CIA, NCIA. So anyway, I don't want to digress, but you were mentioning something about Paul Watson, and one of his articles, did you see his article about the town that they built specifically to run drills? No,
I didn't.
I guess that the gig is up for them. They can't get away with it as much in regular cities now, so they had to create one, complete with a stadium.
Oh, so
basically has everything.
A Hollywood stage act so they can videotape it and make it look good. Oh, this is why we're doing it, and this is for your safety. So look how good it is. So they got to...
yeah, and they're not being discreet about it. It's in Virginia.
Unbelievable. I got a friend in Virginia. Let's see if he could get out there and actually get some video of that.
Oh, I was wondering, do you think we could actually get a little drone over there and videotape some of that? That's probably not going to work, is it? So the other thing I wanted to mention to you is this whole idea of the drone. I'm in Texas, and we have a representative out there saying that it's a wonderful thing that they're going to actually do the making of drones in at the A&M facility. I don't know if you heard this story or not, so I'll just stop me if I'm repeating myself. But the state of Texas actually got awarded a contract to build drones, and for some reason this representative thinks that it's really great for us to have it here, which is insane.
Oh yeah, because it's money in his pocket. That's why it's great for him and his family. But for us, it's not great against the Constitution or Invasion of Privacy Act.
Right. Well, it's Congressman Blake Farenthold, and he's really excited about this whole thing. He thinks it's all about the money. He's going to bring all this money to our state, which I don't know where he's been, but our state is doing plenty fine. We don't need to bring a drone program into the state. They also picked Alaska, Virginia, North Dakota, Nevada, and New York. But the thing is they're actually, one of the quotes here is that you don't want a drone hovering over your swimming pool, but it's a great application in agriculture used for farmers to monitor their crops. Well, the last I checked, you're really not legally allowed to do that here in Texas. So I don't know what this guy is thinking, but we don't need them monitoring our crops.
Absolutely.
It's not necessary.
And where's the stop from there? You know what I mean? Where's the stop? Next, they're going to be monitoring if you got a registered vehicle in your backyard, if you got a pool, if you had a permit to build that pool or your shed in the backyard, and they're going to, well, we're looking for criminals, but we're using X-ray technology through your house to see how many guns you got or whatever is going on, and it doesn't stop. And you give them an inch, they take miles.
Well, and they've been wanting to RFID our cattle. You know, we have cattle and we already have to tag them and everything else, but now they want to really push the idea of RFIDing just simply for the fact that they want to have control over everything. So the idea of adding a drone into that mix over our land, if you think that food costs are high now, wait until the government gets their hands on that.
Oh, absolutely, and that's what they want, control, to tax you for everything you do, and that's what it's all about with them.
Yeah, and in Fresno, poor farmers in Fresno are so... Right now, the drought is so bad; they're all having to sell their cattle and thin the herd. And they're warning, but you're not hearing the trumpets. You know, people aren't really talking about it right now. They're saying that beef prices are going to skyrocket, and I'm not sure. I follow this simply because of the cattle, and they've already closed many stockyards between Texas, Oklahoma, and New Mexico, just because of the drought. But now we're talking about Fresno, which has a huge agriculture. And so our food is about to jump. So we don't need drones, is my point, monitoring our land.
Well, this is all connected with the whole Agenda 21, the sustainability meetings and everything else, their diversity projects and everything else. It's all connected. They want to eliminate private farms, so places like Monsanto could be the saviors pushing that GMO hazardous toxic waste food down our throats, and they want to monitor everything we do. And it's just like a dragnet of draconian bills and dragnet of draconian laws and everything else, all mixed into this conglomerate of tyranny.
Well, now I'm going to put my own opinion into something, and that is when they started wanting to deliver things on Amazon, and I don't know if you the beer being delivered to ice fishermen, and the government was up in arms about that. So I believe that they are afraid that if we take control as not only consumers but small businesses and use these kind of things, that it will eliminate their ability to turn them on us. So
Absolutely.
If the little guy has access to use a drone, well, that just takes all their power away.
Oh, yeah, how dare you have a drone, too? It's like...
Well, how dare you have a cold beer in the middle of nowhere?
I say, militia groups... well regulated under the Second Amendment militia groups. It's not the National Guard either, but real militia groups. You guys should build your own drones and defend our skies against unconstitutional drones. And we should be stepping up the fight against this tyranny, because they're not. They're just relentlessly attacking us. These drones are just out of control. They're killing. I had an article I read last week. I'll bring it up quick. 5 years of Obama death drones have snuffed out 2,400 lives. All civilians at that.
Jeez.
2,400, that's on record. That's women and children, and no Al-Qaeda agents, no terrorists and nothing. 2,400 innocent people. That's just in Pakistan alone, I think. And it's Steve Watson article.
And he's proud of that, Dan.
Oh, yeah.
He's proud of that. He says he's like the drone master. He's very excited.
And he wins a Nobel Peace Prize for promoting war, so they should give him another one this year. Another Peace Prize, because he's killed 2,400 people,
Oh, yeah, but what will this one be for? Dun, 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 dun. Let's pick. Oh, man. So let's keep talking about these drones. What are we going to do? Because apparently how about we just every state institute a license to shoot them, like they do in Colorado?
Absolutely. Judge Andrew Napolitano, he was the first one to come out in the mainstream to say the first American to shoot a drone down will be a hero, and I agree with that. And I send those pictures out all the time, drone hunting license. Mm-hmm. People, if you got a drone, especially if it's targeting, because they're known to kill people too. If it's shooting up your house or spying on you, you should be able to have the right to take your shotgun and put that damn thing down.
No doubt, and I'm too close. As right here in Texas, Montgomery County Sheriff, you may have heard the story, had purchased a bunch of them in order to supposedly keep the peace in his county. Now, I've been in Montgomery County, and I have a pretty good idea of what goes on there. And they say that I think one officer maybe in the last 15 years has been, shot at or something ridiculous. There's really no need for drones there, but they're really excited. And if you go on YouTube, you can probably find the video. There's a man who was courageous enough to call this sheriff, put him on speakerphone, and do an interview with him about the drones, and the sheriff is absolutely thrilled about his purchase. He cannot wait to retrofit those things with the ability to shoot people at 100 feet, to taser them.
Unbelievable.
To taser them.
Rubber bullets. Imagine them flying everywhere, hitting innocent people, and they get the wrong suspect and they tase an innocent person or a kid or something. And I can see the atrocities coming off this. I mean, like it's like 20 years ago. If you think back 20 years ago, and you look to now, you'd be like, it's like the Terminator or something, some kind of sci-fi movie come true.
That's what I was thinking. The Terminator. Exactly. That's where we're going. And the new DARPA robots and Google and the whole thing. And even the Google Glass, the way that it appears, it reminds me of the Terminator. So, or RoboCop, which is even worse.
And what do you think about the fingerprint and eye scanning drones to make deliveries at UAA? Amazon drones to make quick deliveries to your house in the future. But the United Arab Emirates government is looking to add similar technology to the skies much sooner with the eye scanning drones. And if they're doing that with Amazon or something, the government's going to be doing the same things.
Well, yeah, and I don't know if you remember this story from Halloween. You probably don't because it's a way back. But the government was saying don't go and get contact lenses during Halloween because they can mess up your eyes. Which there is some truth to that. But they've been people doing this for years on Halloween. And the funny thing is that yes, those cameras that do the scans when you drive through. They're probably having a hard time recognizing your eyes when you have those goofy contact lenses on there. But they made a big deal about it this year. So,
so they can't.
I guess what do, Dan? We just go out and get contact lenses.
Oh yeah, next thing will be illegal to wear a baseball cap because the facial recognition can't pick up your face. You know what I mean?
Right.
And, they're constantly trying to attack our civil liberties. And you got in Washington state legislation ending illegal drone surveillance gains bipartisan support. So, I mean, that's pretty cool because the two Washington state bills that protect residents from illegal drone surveillance in the public and private sector are quickly gaining large bipartisan support. The bill's called 1771. It should be called 1776. That'd be awesome. But,
right? Now, David Knight mentioned, and I don't want to misquote David, but David Knight mentioned that there is a county in North Carolina that is a no-drone zone. So that's another option for us to step up and go to our local lawmakers and, maybe rally for no drone zones.
Yeah, we should. We got to launch a massive campaign. People should be buying the toy drones and everything else. And we got to go to break. If you want to stay there right quick, Gigi. When we get back, Obama seeks to legitimize drone strikes against U.S. citizens. That's you, folks. He seeks to legitimize drone strikes to kill you. And we'll be right back. And our king, Barack Obama, he's going to legitimize drones to strike you, U.S. citizens, and you're not going to do nothing about it. And this guy, King, Lord and Savior, I say that with the most sarcasm possible, Lord Commander King Obama Barry Soetoro seeks to legitimize drone strikes against U.S. citizens. And Gigi Erneta, Infowars.com reporter and nightly news host. And Gigi, what are your thoughts on that? This is a criminal article.
Well, President Obama, let me tell you, this whole idea of shooting, why are we shooting people anyway? I thought we had a military. I thought there was a reason for them being there. The idea of a man sitting in a cave somewhere running a drone and killing people and not ever having to face the people that they murder, is, to me, there's something wrong with that.
Absolutely.
There's something wrong with that. At least be a man. I'm not encouraging war, but if you're going to do it, to me that seems cowardly.
And remember the U.S. drone that killed 15 people in a wedding party back in December?
I mean, what's that? What were they thinking?
But they justify it. It just gets overlooked. Moving on, But we didn't get no Al-Qaeda members, though. Even though kids died, we didn't get no Al-Qaeda members. But we're doing a good thing. It's like those drone pilots, they should be commended as heroes, even though they're killing innocent people. What the hell? I mean, I could never imagine years ago I mean, I knew the whole New World Order plan and everything, but this is unreal. To see this actually unfold in front of us, it's...
we need. I think they just think we need more war because they have to justify it somehow. I think this whole thing is ludicrous, and the idea here is to get people conditioned to seeing drones.
Yeah.
I think it's going to backfire.
Yeah,
I think people will get a real clue that they're not going to get their beer delivered to the front door, but a bullet, it's going to change. And I think people are pretty smart. For the most part, I'm not hearing a lot of support for drones on U.S. land, whether the king wants it or not. I'm not hearing a lot of good support from it. Maybe from crazy people in Washington that don't know what's going on, but they live in a different land.
And wants to go off killing U.S. citizens, and this is crazy. And even when he had the Jonas Brothers, I think it was a year or two ago at one of the dinners at the White House, he was like, chuckling, "Oh, you like my daughters? They're pretty cute. Well, I'll send my drones after you. You think I'm kidding?" And it's like, and we know he's not kidding either because he will send his drones out to kill somebody that opposes him. And off record, God knows how many Americans that they killed already with these drones.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we know that after this presidency is over, we'll definitely learn more about the truth because he's been running the media again, and as far as getting out there and saying that, just start with one thing: Obamacare is working and it's great. I mean, I don't know where he gets his information, but last I checked, that's pretty much a lie. So I'm not surprised that he's not said a word about killing U.S. citizens with the drones. Well, except for that he's very proud of his ability to kill people with drones. So
it's unbelievable, and
we'll find out after, I'm sure.
Yeah.
If there is an after.
Yeah. That's why I encourage.
I don't want to sound glum, but I'm starting to think that there might be some real truth to him wanting to hang around.
Yeah.
So.
And it's just, it's disgusting, this whole New World Order campaign. That's what it actually is. It's a giant campaign for whole technocracy, New World Order control. They want everything on the one world system and everything else. And I'm preaching to the choir with you, I know, because you know all this stuff. And
well, I mean, and then let's just take a step back for a minute. Let's just say that he actually leaves in 2016.
Yep.
The way they're shoving Hillary Clinton down our throats already, I mean, you think that it'll get better with her in the office. No. I mean, I don't even want to think about it because I can see that death means nothing,
Well, she's a witch.
We'll just leave it there.
She takes the crown and title as witch completely, and she's even more evil.
I don't know. She's got a real good battle with Pelosi. That's
that's
a
true.
tough title. So.
Imagine her. She makes Nancy Pelosi her VP, Secretary of State, Janet Napolitano, the dung beetle, and she gets all these like queens of mothers of darkness, so to speak, into the administration. I mean, we'd be in big trouble.
Right? Talk about major witchcraft.
Yeah.
Okay. And moving on, what do you think about the current situation of our elections? Do you think we'll have one in 2014, or do you think that something will happen before then?
I mean, it was suspected with Bush, but I knew Bush, they had to move on to the next puppet. And but I think Obama legitimately is the head of the snake that they wanted, the head of the tundra that they wanted. And I don't think he's going to leave. And the thing is, we've got to worry about too, even if he does leave, which is going to be a bigger threat because if he already took the security chairman of the UN. Now, if he's out of office, which will violate the Logan Act, but if he's out of office, he could very well be accepted as the next UN president, which would be even worse than president of the United States. So, I don't see him leaving. I personally don't. I see something happening, him using executive orders and him becoming dictator or whatever. But if that happens, it's going to be a bigger, much more powerful puppet, or they're going to have him move to a higher level. So
they're definitely setting up the United States for that, Dan. That's for sure. I mean, the way things are moving around, the way that our Constitution is just, it's like it doesn't even exist anymore. It's been up in flames for the last few years, and the way he's operating is like, what Constitution? And then you have one person well, several, but mainly like Ted Cruz standing up and yelling about it, and then people turn him into a bad guy because he's defending the Constitution.
Oh yeah,
so
you
it's
can't
really
say
upside
nothing.
down.
You can't say nothing about the Constitution because you're a bad guy, conspiracy theorist, a terrorist. You know what I mean? Like, you got the Homeland Security reports on that. But I mean, like, you're right. I mean, we need more politicians standing up for the Constitution.
And that lays in our lap. That's the thing.
Yep.
In the future, we really need to think about who we're putting in office. And I ask everyone out there to really think about it this time. We have an election coming up this year. Think about who you're putting in office.
And the other thing is, Ted Cruz.
Now is important. Now is important.
The other thing is Ted Cruz, if he does decide to run for president, I mean, he should go independent because we know the elite control both Republican and Democrat. And like we try to tell Ron Paul, Jesse Ventura did too, to stay independent because you can't win at something that's controlled, such as the Republican Democratic Party. So if he wants to make a serious run at that and he's really for the Constitution, he should think about going independent or a third party or something because they're never going to, like Ron Paul, he got screwed over here in Rhode Island. He had many more supporters than Twit Romney, and Twit Romney ended up winning. But it's just like it's total control under the Republican Democratic parties.
Oh, absolutely. And the old Republican Party it's not the same as it used to be.
No.
That's for sure. There's no way they're going to allow Ted to be there. So he's going to have to go in the middle. He's not going to have much of a choice there.
Absolutely, especially him, Rand Paul, and I would love to see Andrew Napolitano and Jesse Ventura run. That'd be awesome.
No, my goodness, that be something? I don't think Jesse's going to do anything here in the U.S., is he?
He was thinking about it before, but him and I don't know if that was just a spoof. Him and Howard Stern, whatever. But I don't want Howard Stern in there. I mean, that guy is a complete liberal anyway. And but I don't know. It's just like I would love to see Jesse Ventura run. I mean, that would be great to have him in the White House. I don't agree with his philosophical views, but he does support people. He doesn't believe in God, but he does support people that do. You know what I mean? He does support their rights. But as far as ass-kicking, in-your-face kind of person, that's the person we need right now to go say, hey, you know what? Homeland Security, TSA, get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? Someone like him would eliminate them altogether, not reform them, just say, abolish them completely. And that's the people we need right now to stop abolishing, straight out abolishing, use executive orders if you have to, abolishing these tyrannical federal agencies.
I want to say one more thing before we finish here with the gun confiscation. I know that that's a big deal right now, and I just want to say kudos to the people who are not turning in their guns and registering them right now in, I believe it's Connecticut. There's been a lot of people saying, I'm not going to register. I don't want to, So thousands of people haven't complied yet, and we're encouraging through the Oath Keepers and everything to not comply, and they're doing that. We put a stop here, right here in Rhode Island, we put a stop to the whole registration and everything back in May last year, and they're trying to do it again now, but we got huge resistance here in Rhode Island, and I told them when we take back Rhode Island, we're going to go into Connecticut and Mass and help our fellow brothers take back their states, then take back our region, then our country. And we got about a minute left. You want to plug your show and everything you got coming up on Infowars and whatever? Yeah, actually, I'd like to promote my little radio show. If you go to the Blog Talk Radio right now, blogtalkradio.com, and just type in Standing Freedom, Liberty, Life, Love, and God. You can check out my shows. They're all there. And if you forget that, you can always go to standingfreedom.com, and there's information there on that site. And as always, on Twitter and Facebook, and you can follow me there, and I will friend you. And that's about it with my plug.
Awesome, Gigi, and thank you so much. And I'm going to have you back on again soon. And God bless you, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right. God bless you, Dan. Keep doing good work.
Thank you. And folks, I was Gigi Erneta, Infowars.com reporter / nightly news host. And hopefully next week we're going to have Darren McBreen on. I haven't confirmed it with him. He wants to come on the show. John Bound, a bunch of the Infowars guys, and mainly Alex Jones. I'm going to try to drag him on the show. The guy's really busy. To even get him on for 5 minutes will be a blessing. But because I work hard, folks, in this stuff, but knowing Alex personally, I've never seen anybody in my life work as hard as he does. He's constantly fighting the New World Order. I mean, I can't explain enough how much fire this guy's got. It's unbelievable, and it really is. And people call him controlled opposition. You got to be an idiot to even say that. If you know Alex personally, everybody that knows Alex personally knows that this guy is 100% true blue, on fire for God, and on fire for liberty and truth and everything else. And hopefully we could drag him on the show eventually. And I'm sure he'll come on, but he's been real busy. So we got to wrap up on this February 14, 2014 edition of Truth Radio with Dan Bidondi. We'll be back next week, God willing, and hopefully we could cover more news next week. But have a good week. God bless.